Hi guys, do you like kimbap? I love kimbap of all kinds. The kimbap I'm making today is the classic, the beef. Dare I say it's the first kind of kimbap ever created. This recipe is a step-by-step instruction that's efficient and easy to follow. I'm going to divide the work into 2 separate days because it's easier and less daunting. Of course, you can make this all in just one day too, if you're the robust kind. So let me show you the ingredients. This recipe makes 8 rolls. I will list the recipe for 4 rolls also in the description box below. We need Gimbap Kim, aka sushi nori, medium grain white rice, aka sushi rice, beef, egg, spinach, carrot, pickled radish, aka danmuji, and some seasonings and oils and vinegar. FYI, I used sea salt for this recipe. Spinach, we need 1 pound. Okay, that's 16.7. That's good because we'll find some wilted ones later and we'll discard them. Let's wash the spinach. Oh, before I wash the spinach, let me tell you a little bit about spinach. Please try to look for spinach that has rough leaves and thick stems. They offer better taste. The baby spinach leaves for salad doesn't work for this recipe. Before I wash, I want to boil some water. I have water. Just add half teaspoon full of salt and I'll boil the water for blanching. Okay, so when washing spinach, try to have the spinach lined up all in same direction because we're going to grab the spinach this way and put it in the boiling water all at once. So I'm looking for some wilted leaves like this. This spinach is really clean, so I'm only going to wash once. But if your spinach has dirt, you will wash until water runs clean. Now I can hear the water boiling right now. So what I'm gonna do also is have ice water ready because after we blanch the spinach, we'll submerge in ice water immediately. Okay, so I'm going to have the ice water ready. This is like my ice pad. It's much easier than ice cube. See? Okay, so the water is boiling. It's been salted. So the spinach will go in. Stem first. When blanching, only worry about the stems. If stems are cooked, then they're done. So this is a pound of spinach we're blanching all at once in a small pot. So I'm going to rotate. Okay, I'll say it's done. Now I have the ice water ready. We're going to squeeze out the water. You know, actually, I'm going to rinse one more time. Just squeeze out the water as much as you can. This is a 2-step process, so you don't have to do a perfect job right now. Okay, so now we have spinach ready. We got the bulkiest ingredient out of the way. Okay, so now we need carrots, 14 ounces, 13.9. Okay, I'll go with that. Okay, we are going to peel the carrots. Once it's peeled, it will be about 12 ounces. Okay, it's 12.1. That's great. Now I'm going to wash the carrot and then julienne. Okay, I'll say about, this is good, like that's less than, thinner than 1/4 of an inch. Okay, now I want to show you something. Julienne carrot of 12 ounces of peeled is about 4 cups. Okay, so that's about a cup. That's 2. Okay, so that's 3. It's about 4 cups. Okay, now I'm going to saute this in oil. Okay, so this is 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and the carrots goes all at once. We're going to saute this until it's really soft. It can take up to 7 minutes or so. Now I'm going to add more oil. And then now I'm going to reduce the heat to medium-high. Okay, so now it's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to add the rest of the oil. And then 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. Now be mindful that if you're doing the 4-roll recipe, you will do half of this amount, and then the cooking time might vary. It's not gonna take up to 7 or 8 minutes like it is taking now. That's the timer indicating 7 minutes. So I'll grab some and taste. So what you're looking for is just soft to the bite. I'm gonna do 1 more minute. Oh, another great indicator is that after 7 minutes or so, and you have added all 2 tablespoons of the oil and the salt. If you feel like the pan needs more oil, like it's dry, that's when it's ready. Should be done by then. And one more thing, don't be tempted to season more, because if you taste this right now, some of you might feel like it's not well seasoned to the point where you might think it's bland. But don't forget that every single filling, like all the fillings for the kimbap, is being seasoned. And also the rice will be seasoned. Everything will be seasoned. So you don't want to season things too much at this point. This is ready. I'm going to turn off the heat. Okay, let me show you. Okay, well, soft, very soft. So remove this from the heat and then let it cool. Okay, so now the egg. We need 4 large eggs. 1 large egg is about 1/4 cup. So let me show you. This is 1/4 cup right there. This one might overflow. This one looks a bit bigger than the... Oop, no, it's perfect. See how that's 1 large egg fits in 1/4 cup. Oh, there's something in the egg. Okay, so for this, we're going to need 1 teaspoon sugar. Okay, so 1 teaspoon sugar. It's 1/4 teaspoon salt. And then 1/4 teaspoon MSG. You know, I put MSG every time I cook egg because it gets rid of the pesky egg smell. So beat the eggs. Okay, so looks good. Now we're going to make 2 omelets out of this. Just a little bit, that's about a teaspoon. Okay, pan is ready. Now if you want to be precise, you can pour beaten egg into a half-size cup. We're not going to pour all at once, just a little bit, enough to coat the bottom of the pan. I'm going to gently fold. And fold. Pour the rest. One thing you don't want to do is press the omelet, because we like the egg to have fluffy texture. This one should be ready, but let me give it a little browning. So the heat is on a little over medium right now. Okay, so there's a browning going on, and on the other side too. This time I want to cook in a round pan, because I don't want people to worry about not having the square pan. You can do this in round pan as well, no problem. The pan is ready. And then now the rest of the egg mixture. Now this omelet is a little bit bigger than the other one, because I didn't fill the cup all the way, but it's okay. So now this is ready too. This time it's well browned. Oh yeah, this is definitely bigger than the other. So for you guys, if you're doing the cup thing, please fill the half-sized cup all the way. I'm going to remove this from the heat. 2 omelets is ready, and let them rest for about 10 minutes before cutting. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the omelet, 4 strips each. Okay, now this one. Okay, so we should have 8 strips total. We're done for day 1. Keep the cooked ingredients in the fridge until tomorrow. If you're ready to carry on with the next step, then you don't have to keep them in the fridge. I am going to wrap up for now. Since I was filming, it took me a long time, so I'm done for today. Okay, so the carrots that we cooked. Okay, now the spinach. You can keep carrot and egg together in the same container, but spinach, you need to keep them separately. It's been resting in this much water already, collected on the bottom of the bowl. Okay, so in the fridge. Okay, in the fridge as well. See you tomorrow. Before we go on to the next step, if this is day 2 for you, take out the spinach, egg, and carrot. out of the fridge. They have to be at room temperature. I'm going to do that myself also. Okay, so here's my egg and carrot from yesterday and my spinach. I'm going to set that aside. So the next thing is pickled radish. Okay, so I bought the pre-sliced one. So if you buy the whole one, you can cut them into a thin strip like this. I'll say it's about 3/8 of an inch, or about slightly less than, almost about 1 centimeter. So we need 8 strips. Any pickled radish you're not using, keep them in a separate container and put it in the refrigerator. So I'm going to rinse this just once, pat it dry. Okay, so that's done. This one is eye round cut that they cut into a steak size. I bought this like 3-4 days ago. I mean, I know it's not spoiled, but the color has changed. Please use a good quality cut. No stew meat or any tough cut. They're too tough for this application. Please use a cut that you would eat, like your favorite steak, or the stir fry cut works as well too. But no marbling in the beef though. Fat in meat adds flavor when it's served hot, but fat in meat at room temperature is not tasty, because kimbap is served at room temperature, so the marbled beef in kimbap means eating solid fat. Let's cut into nice size strips. I want to measure this out 8.6 still. I want it to be like exactly 8.0. Okay, now I'm happy. Okay, so I'm going to marinate the beef. Okay, so for the marinade, we need 2 tablespoons sugar and equal amount 2 tablespoons soy sauce. Okay, and half teaspoon garlic powder. This kimbap recipe is my mom's recipe with a few modifications. She uses fresh garlic for the marinade, which is a typical practice for Korean cooking. Fresh garlic in kimbap to be a little bit overpowering, so I use garlic powder instead. And then 1/4 teaspoon freshly ground pepper. If you use pre-ground, then you would want to use more. Okay, this is freshly ground black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon. And then 1 teaspoon sesame seed oil. Oops, that's a little bit. And mix this really well until all the sugar dissolves. I can smell the sesame seed oil. It smells really great. Okay, and pour all in. Okay, and then we're going to cook this right away. Okay, I think my skillet is preheated. Let's see. Just very little bit of oil, even that's a little too much. Just about half teaspoon. Okay, so it's ready. Okay. You see water like this? Lots of water. We're going to cook until the water evaporates and it becomes a nice thick sauce. Last time it took me about 5 minutes or longer. Actually, let me use the timer right now and see how long it's going to take. So the heat is still on high. A lot of water. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes and I'm going to reduce the heat to medium. The reason I reduced the heat to medium is because I want this to slowly braise. If you cook this on high heat, the meat will dry out a little bit. I could see the sauce is becoming a little thicker. So if you're doing the 4-roll recipe, then it will take less to cook. So this is taking about 6 minutes or so, and then if you're doing half the amount, it could take 2 or 3 minutes. That's my timer, and 5 minutes. I'm going to cook about 30 seconds or more. I like to have just a 1 teaspoonful of sauce left in the skillet. Okay, so I think after about 6 minutes, I would say this is ready. I'm going to turn off the heat. So what I'm trying to show you is the sauce has thickened and it didn't cook out all the way. We still see a bit of sauce left on the bottom of the skillet. Okay, so I'm going to remove this from the heat and then let it rest and cool down. I think this is the secret to a delicious beef gimbap. Cooking the beef properly. The beef looks like it's glazed in barbecue sauce. That's what we're aiming for. So I don't want the beef to dry out, so I'm going to cover it. So beef is done. Yay, we got all the gimbap fillings ready. Now the rice, 3 cups uncooked, medium grain white rice. 1 cup of white rice is about 7 ounces. I measure every time. It always comes out to be 7.2, but I'm just going to round off and say it's 7 ounces. So I'm going to quickly rinse off the rice twice really fast. Okay, the reason I did that is because white rice is like a sponge, so it will soak up anything like dirty water so fast. So you want to rinse off the white rice immediately. I am washing the rice really well with a gentle pressure. Rub the rice between your palm. What you don't want to do is don't use too much pressure. You might break the rice. That's something we don't want to do. So I'm going to rinse 7 times. I normally just rinse 5 times when I'm cooking other rices, but when I'm cooking rice for gimbap or sushi, I will rinse 7 times. 1, 7, the final rinse. And then now I'm going to soak the rice in water for 10 minutes. I will set the timer. Okay, so the timer went off, so it's been 10 minutes. So I'm going to drain the rice. Rinse one more time. Let it drain in the colander for 20 minutes. Set the timer. Okay, so in the meantime, while the rice is draining, I'm going to make the dressing for the rice. On the stove top, in a small saucepan, we need 1/4 cup of white sugar. Okay, and then equal amount, 1/4 cup of rice vinegar. Some rice vinegars have sugar already added, but mine doesn't have. Oops! The pan was preheated too much, too hot, and it shouldn't happen. Okay, I'm going to turn off the heat. You should never boil vinegar because it goes flat. The reason we're doing this on stove top is because we want to melt all the sugar and salt. So, and then now I need 2 teaspoons sea salt, so that's 2. And then I'm going to melt all the sugar and the salt. So let's turn the heat back up. Okay, I'm going to turn off the heat and melt the sugar and salt with the remaining heat because I think I'm seeing like a wisp of smoke. so I don't want to do that. And then you can also lift up your pan from the heat. Okay, so I don't see any crystals, so well dissolved. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside as well. Okay, now let's cook the rice. It's been 20 minutes and rice has been well drained. The color changed from translucent beige to opaque white. Like pat on the bottom side of the colander, there's some water remaining. I'll get rid of all the water. There's this much remaining on the bottom of the colander. And if you can use a wide pan like this instead of a narrow tall pot, it works out better because the weight of the rice on top can interfere with cooked rice texture. Okay, so it was 3 cups of rice soaked and drained, and then equal amount of water. That's 2 cups, and then this is 1 cup, so 3 cups in total. 24 liquid ounces. So I'm going to level the rice. Okay, so the heat is on high, and then we're going to bring this to a boil. Not a full boil. I'll show you what it should be later. Let's put the lid on. Okay, and I'm going to open the lid, see what it looks like. What I'm looking for is little like bubble or ripple. Okay, I see a little bit, but I actually want to see a little bit more. Okay, so you can open the lid to check. So let's see. Okay, so you see the bubble, and then I can hear it too. At this point, I'm going to stir the rice really well, air out all the stale air that was trapped in the rice, and then this also helps with less sticking. And then now close the lid. We're not going to open the lid anymore from this point. Reduce the heat to medium and set the timer for 12 minutes. Okay, while the rice is cooking, let's season the spinach. So now I'm going to really squeeze out all the water. The reason we waited till the last minute to season the spinach is because spinach is like a pasta salad. You know how when you make pasta salad, you season really well and sometimes drench in salad dressing, but the next day it's bland again. Yeah, that's the reason why you want to season the spinach right before kimbap rolling. Some people make kimbap with cucumber because spinach is a lot of work, but when you put spinach, kimbap is more delicious. So I don't mind going through the work. Okay, we're going to season the spinach. Make sure you loosen the leaves. It will take up the seasoning better. It's half teaspoon salt, and then 1.5 teaspoon ground sesame seed. So I'm just going to use this sesame seed grinder. I'm going to say that's about a teaspoon and a half. Okay, and then 2 teaspoons sesame seed oil. That's 1, 2. Okay, so I'm going to taste. Good. Okay, so now 12 minutes have passed. So I'm going to reduce the heat to low. Mine is 1 notch above simmer. Set the timer for 8 minutes. See the rice through the lid. Okay, so now 8 minutes have passed. So I'm going to turn off the heat and then open the lid. Okay. Now I'm going to taste. To cook, you want to stir the rice from bottom up. The reason we do this is because rice on the bottom is more cooked than the rice on top, so we would like to have rice to cook evenly. Let it rest for 5 minutes. Some of you cooking the rice in your rice cooker, not on the stove top. We need 40 ounces of cooked rice in total, so that's what we need. So while the rice is resting, I'm going to set up the kimbap rolling station. Okay, so the rice has been resting for 5 minutes, so it's ready. We're going to season the rice, and I need 40 ounces. That's my wooden salad bowl, by the way. It works well. Okay, that says 40.3, so that's good. So since we didn't have much sticking, we were able to get 40 ounces. Sometimes if the rice is not cooked properly, so much rice gets stuck on the bottom of the pot, and like I didn't get 40 ounces in total. So if you're not comfortable cooking rice on stove top, you might want to cook your rice in your rice cooker instead, because we need 40 ounces of cooked white rice. And then remember the rice dressing mixture that we made? I'm going to pour all in. Mix really well. You might see a puddle of the vinegar mixture on the bottom of the bowl, but it's okay. Don't worry, it will be all soaked up into the rice. You know how sushi chefs, you see them going like that. I don't have that skill, so I just gently like turn the rice. Let's say fold. I'm like folding. You know how in baking the term that they use is folding. Fold and make sure that they're mixed well without stirring so much. That's what we're trying to do here. So yes, I'm like folding. Okay, so I don't see the much of the vinegar mixture. So now what we need to do is cool the rice. So you need to use the fan, the bottom side. Okay, so I think the rice has cooled down. If there is one thing I want you to take away from this video, is that you must make kimbap with cold rice. Otherwise, the warm rice can spoil your kimbap and make you sick. If using thermometer, it's about 85 Fahrenheit only on the surface. If you go in deep, it will be warmer. If we wait until it's completely cool, then it takes too long, and then the rice might get dried. So let's cover with a wet towel. Okay, so this will prevent from drying. You know, I already set it up partially, and I want to show you something. Glaze in the skillet, we don't want to lose that. I'm going to scrape off all the glaze that's in the skillet and then pour over, because I believe this is the secret to the delicious beef kimbap. I mean, along with other factors, but this is so important. I'll mix. So okay, so let's get ready. We are ready to roll. So we need some sesame seed oil with pastry brush, and then bamboo mat. In my case, it will be a silicone mat. Gimbap kim, the sushi nori. So let me show you. There's the rough side, and then there's the shiny side. The shiny side will meet the mat, and then the rough side will meet the rice. Single-use food-grade gloves are very helpful. Oil my gloves with a little bit of the sesame seed oil. When you grab the rice, do not grab from the bottom. Try to grab from the top, because the bottom part is still might be a little bit warm. And make it into a nice ball. I'll say, does it look like about a tennis ball size or a little bigger? And I want to weigh this. Okay, it says 5.6. I want it to be 5, so not bigger than the tennis ball. About the size of a tennis ball. 5.1, okay. And then when you're making the ball, you're not really pressing too tight, just lightly. And then that's a good size, and it says it's 5 ounces. You can grab your kimbap this way. It sticks to the kim. So there's the longer side and shorter. So I'm going with the horizontal format. Okay, and then from the outer side to the inward, you're going to spread the rice. I am leaving about, is that about 1.5 inches from the edge? And then be careful not to mash the rice right now. Okay, so now the rice has evenly spreaded. Okay, oh, and we need a little bit of glue at the edge. Okay, so go with the pickled radish. My mom taught me this. She said to start with pickled radish first, build the foundation. That's clever. Okay, and then the beef, carrot, and then the spinach. So what I like to do is I like to put spinach on top of the carrot. I call it a spinach blanket, so the carrots stay in place when you start to roll. Okay, and then put the egg. Let me roll first and explain. Okay, gentle pressure, but you need to press a little bit though, so all the fillings will stay nicely tightly together. Okay, no, so that, and then now okay, so there is the seam side. You will place it like seam side down, and then coat kimbap with sesame seed oil, just the top part, not all around. You know, actually what's good to do is you can divide this in half like that, so that half is 4 rolls. I already rolled one, so this side should be a little less than exact half. So I grab the rice. Okay, 4.9, not bad, I'll go with that. Grab the kim. Okay, so pickled radish as foundation, and the beef, and the carrot, and the spinach. I'm going to put it right next to carrot, not on top of. It looks prettier when you cut it. Okay, and then the egg. Okay, so with 2 thumbs beneath the mat, and 4 fingers are gently, lightly covering the fillings so they stay in place, and then fold. Okay, and then I'm going to let this go. Okay, you need to put a little pressure. Okay, so that's the seam side. Seam side goes down. Let me roll this one more time. So 2 thumbs beneath the mat, 4 fingers covering the lovely things, okay? and then I fold it, and then I'm grabbing the mat, and then the mat is folding and holding the all the fillings right now, and then I'm rolling with the gentle pressure, rolling, 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 gentle pressure. So now, finished rolling. If you let go, since this mat was stuck between, you need to finish rolling without the mat this time. Don't forget the end. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's well rolled. Coat the top of kimbap. I finished all 8 rolls. Very nice. Pretty much all gone. Oh, by the way, each roll you get 5 ounces of cooked rice and 1 ounce of beef and half an egg along with vegetables, if that's important to you. Okay, there's the end part. Are you team end part or team the middle? Some people think the end part is better part than the ones in the middle. What do you think, or what do you say to that? I should clean my knife. Okay, and I'm going to grab one and eat. Very tasty. If I were to write kimbap paradigm, if there is such thing, then I would say things like, oh, sweet and salty beef, crunchy pickled radish, fluffy and tender eggs, the wholesome vegetables, the sweet and tangy rice, umami nori, nutty sesame seed oil, all in balance. It's a perfect food. Hope you give it a try. Did you guys enjoy the video? I definitely had fun making it. If you learned something from this video, please give this video a thumbs up and share the video with your friends and family. Please subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.